push it over, see how it does. It does well. Power it off, let that nose come down. Nice flying plane. Hey folks, Rich here at RCINFORMER. Today I have a really sweet airplane to show you coming from hobbyzone.com. Check the links below. I'll put them in the description. I'll also put them in the comments section. This is from their New Arrows hobby line, and this is taking it up a whole new level to a full featured EDF jet. This is their MIG-29 FULCRUM. It is a twin 64mm 6-cell powered full featured jet. Do not let the 64mm fool you. When you put this thing together, it kind of grows up and it's a nice size airplane. Again, fully featured, fully detailed, aluminum retractable landing gear, flaps, missile detail, and lots of detail that I'm going to show you up close in this video. Now we're going to have other videos as well. In the upper right hand corner you'll see a little eye up here, and it'll extend a little message bar here. I'm going to have an assembly guide, probably flight demos, and if you push on that even right now, which you can do while I'm talking, it'll drop down a menu right here, and it'll give you a drop down bar that you can kind of scroll up and down. I'll have about 3 to 5 videos of this airplane, and that's how all my videos are. I usually do a series on one airplane, so if you want more info on this, click on that link, check out the other videos, the flight demos, and if you don't see them right away, that's because I'm getting them ready and they'll be out here shortly. So stay tuned for those videos, but this is one sweet airplane. If you guys choose to get one, do check it out at hobbyzone.com. Again, I will put that below, and if you guys do click on our link, purchase an airplane through our link, we do get a small commission. And here's what you're going to see. I'll throw up here, you know, in your card for future reference, or when you click on our links in the cart, you'll see my logo at the top, and that indicates that indeed you're helping us out, you're supporting our channel. We do appreciate that. If you don't see that, you see a different logo, what that simply means is that you know, you have a cookie on your computer from another reviewer or something, and it's stuck on there. So the way to get around that is just use an incognito window if you're using Google Chrome, or delete your cookies in either case, and then come back to this video, click on those links, and go to those links through the incognito window or with no cookies, and then you'll see this logo up there, and that indicates that you are crediting us for it. And we do appreciate that, guys. It supports all our free videos we're putting out for you guys. And with that, I hate getting into all that stuff, but oh well, I gotta inform everybody, guys. I am the RCINFORMER, so let's take a look at this thing. It is pretty sweet. I've only kind of glanced at it there. You can see down below, just in the box, and it is pretty darn sweet. So you got twin 64mm, 12 blade fans, 6-cell powered, 40 amp ESCs. I'm going to show you the scale details on this, which is awesome. It has CNC metal shock absorbing landing gear that's very nice. Electric retracts have overcurrent protection, so if they bind, it'll shut down. Rubber tires all the way around. Bearing equipped full flying stab, which is very nice. I saw that, and I'll show you that. Pre-installed ball linkages all the way around. And let's kind of go on to a couple other things. Let's take a look at the specs on it. We're looking at a 900mm or 35-inch wingspan. Overall length 13 to 1400mm. 53-inch, so it's a good size airplane. Shows you the weight. There's your two brushless outrunners, 2200 kVs for the ESCs say twin 40 amps, and again it has a 5 amp BEC. Shows you all of the servos that are installed in here, so 9 servos all together. 6-channel radio for minimum. I'll probably go to 7, and I'll show you that with my nose wheel steering. And we'll talk about the CG, 12 blade fans, and a 3300 pack. Probably go a little bit higher, but 33 will usually take a twin 64mm pretty far. So with all of that, folks, here's what this thing looks like coming out of the box. It's packaged extremely nicely. There's even a little slot here for the instruction manual that you don't normally see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to split this apart. I already looked at it just slightly so I could talk with you guys about it a little bit more. I went ahead and I cut all the tapes so I can show you everything, and you can see how nicely laid out everything here is in the box. Your main fuselage, you got your wing panels here, you've got your stabilizers, your wing spar and everything. I'm going to go and get everything out of the box. Your nose cone is sitting right here, really nice screw-in pitot tube. And what we'll do is, what I'll first do here is I'll get the fuselage out of the box. It's really nice. I'm going to just lay everything out so you guys can really see what all this looks like and the size of everything. They got a little padding here for your vertical stabilizers that I'll pull out of here. Let's get those out. Really nice. Wow, I can't wait to really get into the detail and show you guys this stuff. Very nice missile and ordnance package on this thing. And then we'll get to the second part here, the top section. A lot of guys, a lot of manufacturers are double-deckering their boxes now, so there's really some really great detail here. Look at that wing, very nice. We'll put that down there. Stabilizer with the bearing in it, which we'll get into that fully in detail here. The other wing, which we'll pull out and I'll throw up here. Your other stabilizer, which they did pad. Seems like they pad it where they need to, and you know, no padding where they don't need it and so forth. So looks like that stuff doesn't want to come off of there. And then let's see what else we got. We got a couple of missiles here, real nice ordnance. Plastic fins all the way around that look pretty tough. A couple more missiles here, bombs, and the main wing spar. And I think that's about it. Let me see if I can flip those back up. We'll put that aside, and that's about it for the parts. So let me go ahead and lay out everything, folks. We'll take once we get it all laid out, we'll get into more detail on everything. Here's the layout of all the parts that came out of the box, and everything looks really nice here, folks. The only gluing that needs to be done, the vertical stabilizers and rudders have to be glued on. The rest of it is a screw together, so it's a real simple airplane to put together. You got your fuselage down here. 64mm fans are mounted in there. ESCs are mounted. Landing gears mounted in there. All you have to do is just plug your receiver and battery in and go. Horizontal stabilizers, they just plug in, and I think they go in with some screws or set screws. Your vertical stabilizers and rudders, servos are mounted, ready to be plugged in and glued into position. And your wings that I think they take 4 screws. I got to take a look as we get closer into it. There's your main wing spar, but they all just plug in. Your spar right here, your wing spar, goes right through the center of the fuselage. Your wings plug in. And there you have 2 connections on each side, and that's it, screws into place. And then you've got your nose cone down here, that's magnetic. You've got all your ordnance here. There's 6 missiles with really nice fins. I'll show you all that stuff. Those just clip into position. And then you have a little accessory bag here, which just has 2 elevator push rods, about 6 screws to assemble this thing. And it's got your screw-on pitot tube, and then you got your instructions. So this thing's pretty simple, pretty straightforward. I'm going to go ahead and start here, folks, with the fuselage. And in fact, I'll show you right here this magnetic nose cone, how this thing really fits in place. It's very, very nice. In fact, you know what I'll do is I'll pull that air in front of the camera. You can see right here, it actually has metal threads in there where the pitot tube, which is in that little bag, where that pitot tube screws right in. So you can screw in and screw out your pitot tube. So when you transport this thing, and of course there's your magnet, when you transport this thing, you can take the pitot tube off, so you're not breaking it all the time, which is pretty nice, because there's only 2 kinds of pitot tubes, folks. There's those that have broken off, and there's those that will. So I'll go ahead and I'll pull this thing up here. Let me widen the camera frame a little bit so you guys can see this. I am just absolutely floored by how nice of an airplane is. Look at the detail on this thing. Look at the gun port right there. Look at the little plastic pieces up here. That's some sort of a pitot tube there as well, or just probe of some kind. And then back here, look at your little antenna details. They even took this little canopy latch and made a detail on it. So you actually push it back to get this thing open and close the thing. And then as you go back here, look how nice the paint job is. Look at the panel lines. I'm just kind of blown away that this is a 64mm jet. You've got a light right there. Of course, you do have wingtip lights. This little plastic scoop and some rivets there. These 2 little angular handle things, whatever the heck those are. But man, the detail on this thing is awesome. Look around here. The engine detail's very nice all the way around. Let's flip it upside down and take a look how nice this is. There's even, you know, there's an intake cooling hole right here that comes in and goes into the battery area to cool everything down. You've got some fin detail there. Look how nice the retracts are in there, nose wheels all the way in there, and just super nice all the way around. I just can't get over how cool this thing is. It's kind of exceptional, actually. Look at the canopy detail. They painted the inside gray. You've got some instruments, little pilot in there and so forth. So they did a really nice job on this thing all the way around. So let's go down the side here. Leading edge extensions are really nice. They're nice and round, no need for plastic. But then they went ahead and they put plastic around the intake scoop here, so that will not ding. It's not just foam. So they line the leading edges which is super, super nice. Nice decal there on the side applied. The application of the decals on this is very, very nice. So as we go along the side here, you can see where your wings will screw in. The spar I talked about right down there goes right through here. Your two connections are made right here. That's for your aileron flap and your lights. And then you got your two metal threaded machine screws that get your wing on, and that's it. I think those go from the underside, but not totally sure. And then here's your main landing gear, twist and turn with suspension. It does compress, very, very nice. There is a plastic piece, right, kind of an L-shaped plastic piece that I think it's contact cemented in place. So you can peel that away if you need to access your retract with the 4 screws. But nice suspension all the way around. You can see there's E-rings there that you're going to want to put foam tack on to keep those in place. And then your nose strut. Let's look in there. Really nice. I'll extend this in this video so I can show you how nice these retracts look. And it even has the front brace that retracts and extends and closes in there and extends out. It's really, really nice. But look at that suspension landing gear all the way around. Just super awesome. Nice detail all the way around. Then of course underneath you've got your hatches. You got a hatch here probably for your BEC and speed controller with some screws that you can access. Huge, huge cheater holes that assist air in going in there in addition to your front scoops that help the fans breathe better. So lots of air, nice big. So this will produce some really good thrust overall. And then your rear compartment here, I don't know how this comes out exactly. There's one screw here that may tongue and groove in there. So, but there's your speed controllers. I think they were 40 or 50 amp, it said. Your 2 access hatches right here, and here 2 screws. That's just to access your fan. And you can see that right through here. You can see your 12 bladed fans. Outrunner motors all ready to go, all installed. Very nicely detailed all the way around. And then here's your plug-in for I think your vertical stabilizer, I'm pretty sure. Your horizontal servos are here. This whole area is a plastic piece right here. And this is where your horizontal stabilizer just plugs right in, and then there's a single screw. I don't know if it's machine or what, but it goes in here and it secures that axle right in there, and then that attaches everything. And then you have your push rod that's in the bag right there that's going to attach that in place. So really nice, folks. I'm impressed with this. It's very, very cool. They did a super nice job on everything. I may plug these 2 holes as I'm looking at this, just to keep the air from getting out of there. I may stick some foam or something in there. But overall, super, super nice. Look down there. You can see all the panel lines, rivets, details. Just super nice. We'll come down the other side. It's definitely worth a look at this thing, how nice the detail is on this thing. This is just, as a pilot and a builder, it's very impressive to look at a model like this where everything connects. There's nice geometry to everything, and again, we want to put foam tack on those E-rings so those don't pop out. Nice compression strut, and I'll extend those here towards the end of the video. We'll show you all that. So we'll get into the canopy here. Really simple. Check out that detail. Look at the plastic pieces on this thing. I mean, they just did some serious work on this thing. It's amazing what they're producing nowadays. So anyway, again, the scale details back here. This one doubles here as a latch, so that comes out. Nice thing is they put a ramp right on the edge of this thing. See, they rounded the corner, and that's so when you put your tongue and groove there in the front and you put that in there, that you can just push it down and it latches. Very nice. There is a hole here. That's to ventilate this whole area. Helps keep some heat out of that canopy to keep this thing from blistering and bubbling inside. So it helps reduce some of the heat, lets it vent a little bit. And then down in here, battery compartment, plenty of space. You could see your cooling hole that we talked about that was underneath. That's where air comes in, gets over your battery, goes through the back. And then you have Velcro at the bottom. You can peel this off right here and attach it to your battery. I am probably going to remove my Velcro, and I'm going to put down a bed of shelf liner with double-sided foam tape so I can just secure my battery that way. It'll grip it in place, and you save some space from top to bottom. So your top of your canopy or bottom of your canopy here, you can put a thicker battery in basically, so if you need to. And then everything's ready to go. All your wiring connections. Looks like there's a shelf right now back here for your receiver. And then they've got a really nice XT90 connector, which is super nice. If you guys use XT90s, this is the way to go. I really wouldn't join it up with a EC5. Some people say they fit, but the bullet is actually a different size. So all my batteries are blue EC5s, okay, and IC5s actually now with smart technology. So I'll probably end up desoldering this myself out of my own personal preference, and I'll put a blue EC5 connector on there. So, but otherwise, everything's wired, everything's ready to go. Real nice battery floor in there. And once again, we'll put that right back on. Just beautiful overall. Beautiful latching mechanism. Really nice model. Like I said, I'm dying to get. I can't wait to get out and fly this thing. It's just spectacular. The construction's really nice. We'll set this right back down here so you guys can look at that. And I'll get a few extra other parts here so we can get a close look. This is the first time actually too that I'm looking at this, other than just getting it out of the box. But here is your horizontal stabilizer. Nice detail all the way around. You can see it's got rivets, panel lines, and it's got your ball link on here. Nice big plastic doubler. Nice spar that has been jigged on in there in the foam mold. And then here is your bearing supported axle. Super nice. The one screw that we showed goes through there, goes into this recessed indentation here and keeps the thing from coming out. But you've got smooth elevator control with a bearing. I'm assuming there's another bearing in there, but in either case, it's very, very smooth and just pretty awesome all the way around. And then here's your vertical stabilizer and your rudder, one side of it anyway. And servo, ball link, rod and horn, everything is attached already and ready to go. You can see that rivet detail all the way around. They just did such a nice job on this. Your single connector right here, and again, you're going to glue this. You're going to glue this onto the airplane there. And again, one of the nice things they did, really nice quality, is they masked all of your gluing surfaces here. So there's no paint on them, and you're not gluing paint to paint. You're now gluing foam to foam. I would use foam tack for this, and we'll talk about that in the assembly guide, the building guide, so be sure to check that video out again. I'll put that in the upper right-hand corner. This is your plastic reverse side. This is actually a box they put, or at least a plastic doubler plate on the other side so it doesn't mess up the foam, which is really nice. So your servo is actually glued in there. So we'll get these really nice components. Real impressed with this all the way around. I'll put this down here. We'll grab some other stuff here. I'll grab a spar. I'll grab the main spar and a wing to show you how this goes on. Again, this spar is going to fit right through the fuselage, one side through the other, and then each wing, it's just going to plug right in there, and it's pretty secure. It's nice and in place, and pretty positive attachment point there all the way around. And then look at this wing. Look how nice this is. This is fitting for the landing gear. This is all a big, nice plastic doubler piece where your landing gear is going to go in. Here's where your screws go in, right here, and again, we talked about that. There's your two connectors right down there, and that is it. You got your two connections. One's for your aileron, one's for your flap, and the flap one they actually co-located in a Y harness here with your wing light. So that's what your black and red wire is there, that is your wing light all the way down here. Very slick design. Looks like they copied the full-size MiG as close to the letter as they could. Very unique light on the edge of that. But great detail. That's going to be super bright. We're going to be able to really see that. And you got spars. You can see your spars were jigged through here. There's probably, yep, one right back here. And no submerged style hinges on this one. This one just has, let's take a look. Does this one have one? It's hard to say. Let's see if we can get that to extend. No, just regular, your normal type hinges, but that's really all you need. It just raises the expense. They're a little nicer when they submerge them, but these are standard foam style hinges that are laminated. They usually have a laminate running across them here. And you can see here that you got real nice positive control over everything. And that is it, folks. These are fully, ready to go out of the box just like this. Rods, horns, linkages already installed. They taped up your excess wires nice. And here's your tracks right here, or your connection point for your missiles and your bombs. I'm not sure which ones are going to go where, but you can see how nicely these things join on. They just connect like that. So again, I don't know which ones go where. I'm going to just install all of them here and put them in place just so we can see what they look like. I think, I'm sort of guessing, I could be wrong, that they're universal and they'll probably fit anywhere, even though I'm probably going to put them in the wrong place here because I haven't really checked out the box that closely. But let's go ahead and slide, see if I can get that one in place. There it is, it goes on. And that's pretty much how your missiles and your bombs go on. I'll get one more missile in place, and this is actually showing, you can kind of see how nice the quality of these things are. They spent a lot of time, actually they got a nice plastic mold for everything. A lot of times they cheap out on these fins, and you know, sometimes you have really kind of spindly fins on this, but look how tough these things are. They're really, really nice all the way around. They did a good job on this. So let's see if I can get this one on. Again, I probably got them all in reverse order, I'm willing to bet here. See if we can get this thing in place here. Snap that in place. There we go, and they all fit in. Again, I think they're universal. I probably just put them all on in reverse order, but you can see how nicely those go in place. So we'll get that back down there. And then last but not least, folks, is the instruction manual. And this goes into some things. Actually, the bag here shows you your screw and pitot tube. Super nice quality, your two elevator push rods. And your screws, which I think there's 6 of them in there, and that is it, folks. A little bit of foam tack and you got this thing all together. So instruction manual is right here, and let's get into it. You can see all the parts. We just talked about everything. It shows you all the dimensions and things we talked about here. And then they show you using medium CA, which you can use, guys, to put your verticals on. That's fine. I'm going to use foam tack. This foam tack, I think, is superior to using that. Sometimes CA to me seems to be a little brittle for a foam surface. But anyway, there's your horizontal stabilizers. You see your single screws going in there. And then you do see here where you put your push rods on your elevator. And then you see your wing spar going in right here, your wings going in, your 2 screws. Again, I put the missiles on completely backwards in the opposite order. And then you can see your nose cone going in there, and your pitot tube on the front. And let's see what else we got here. Canopy, showing your battery and so forth. Let's see if we can get down to where the CG is. They talk about rates, high rates, low rates. I'll talk about that during the flight demo. Again, I'll put that in the upper right-hand corner. If you click on, again, that eye circle there, it'll drop down a menu here and show you those flight videos and everything. So let's see, CG, we already talked about that a little bit, but 85 to 95. I'll report on that more as I fly the airplane, what the CG ought to be and how well it flies and what positions and so forth. So anyway, I don't know if they show any ESC now. They don't have any of that stuff in here, but really nice overall. Now let me get a battery. I'm going to really quickly plug in the retracts and let's take a look at those. Okay, you can see here I just have a simple servo driver tester here hooked up to a 4.8 volt nickel metal hydride pack. You can see the triple Y harness. Actually, this one's sort of a quadruple because it's got the light actually on the top of the fuselage hooked up. You see how nice and bright that is. But they're all hooked up into a single, like I said, a quadruple Y harness. And we'll take a look at the gear. Let's extend this thing. See how nicely that comes out. Look at how nice this landing gear is. Look at that aluminum forward strut. That's all aluminum if I'm not mistaken right there. Lots of E-rings here, folks. You're going to want to put even one right up here and even one on the wheel axle. You're going to want to put some foam tack on each of those E-rings to keep those from falling out, or some kind of contact cement. But look at the compression on that. Look at the nice suspension all the way around. You got your nose wheel steering servo in there, which I'll probably use on a 7th channel. We'll talk about that. And your main landing gear. Let me zoom in on one of those. You can see the scissor link assembly back there. Really nice overall. Look at the compression on that. And you're going to want to put foam tack on each of those E-rings as well, or again, some sort of contact cement to keep those in place. And same on your center wheel here, because if you lose those E-rings on any part of this, you lose the component, and it's sort of a pain when that happens. So let's take a look at the twist and turn action on that main gear. Absolutely beautiful, almost like the full scale, minus the doors. But you know what? This plane is small. You wouldn't expect to see doors on it. It's about as low drag of a deal as you can get here. So very impressive how that thing extends and turns. You can see your drag pin right there that helps, it's basically a rotation pin that allows these things to rotate and everything. Probably secure these wires a little more in place so they don't bind on anything, but super, super nice all the way around. Let me drop that nose gear back in there. Just simply awesome how that front brace operates. Almost like the full scale, just super, super impressive. A+ on this thing, folks. So anyway, stay tuned. I'm going to get this thing down here. We'll be getting the flight demo out here shortly, and we'll be doing the assembly guide here next. So just stay tuned and check out. And again, in the upper right hand corner of the screen, the little white eye, you click on that, you'll get your drop down menu with all the other videos in the series of this, from this unbox, the assembly, flight demos, and anything else that I do about it, that I talk about, I'll try to put up there. Please like and subscribe to the channel, guys. I'm really impressed with this airplane. This thing is awesome, and I cannot wait to get this thing out there flying. Check out the links below once again to purchase the airplane if you want to get one. Those links are below. And again, stay tuned. Thank you guys very much for watching RC Informer. I'll get the flight videos out shortly. Thanks for watching, and as always, folks, we'll see you next time.